A St. Louis County police officer is one of two people who died following a crash in North St. Louis County. That officer has been identified as Antonio Valentine. Backstoppers is now stepping in to help his family. Thanks for being with us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. Officer Valentine, along with the driver of a second car, were both killed. Another officer was also hit but treated and released from the hospital. This crash happened just after 2 o'clock this afternoon near Crete Drive and Chambers Road in Bellefontaine Neighbors.
We have team coverage on this story. Casey Nolan with how police are remembering one of their own. But let's start with Robert Townsend, who is live at Barnes Jewish Hospital with the latest. Robert.
Mike, dozens of police officers showed up at this hospital immediately after they heard one of their own died in the line of duty. Let me tell you, they had to show up right here and show their support for Officer Antonio Valentine.
Obviously, it's a very sad day for this department.
A teary-eyed and visibly upset Interim St. Louis County Police Chief Kenneth Gregory briefly addressed reporters after one of his officers, Detective Antonio Valentine, was killed during a two-car crash.
His family's been notified. They're aware of everything.
Chief Gregory didn't say anything about the crash that happened shortly after 2 this afternoon near the intersection of Bellefontaine and Chambers Road. Officer Valentine and his partner, detectives for the St. Louis County Drug Unit, were in an unmarked vehicle when their vehicle collided head-on with this black car. The male driver of that car also died.
So I want to say he's at least doing 60.
The damage so extensive that pieces of metal, shattered glass, and car parts cover the road.
It's just sad. It's a tragedy. You know, nobody wants to see anybody die.
This witness, one of many who heard the impact of the car crash.
I heard the loud noise of the car collision. That's when I ran up, seen the officers giving the guy on the ground CPR, and then the other cops attended, to the police officers that was on the ground. Back
at Barnes Jewish Hospital, dozens of St. Louis City and County police officers gathered outside to mourn Officer Valentine and comfort each other.
I'm sorry for the families involved. It's Christmas time and they should be all together. And
what I ask of you all now is to just grieve with us, support the family for all that they're going through. And we'll get through this the best that we can.
Officer Valentine was a St. Louis County police officer for 14 years. Now his partner was treated for his injuries and released from the hospital. Live outside BJC, Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
And let's continue our team coverage now with Casey Nolan, who is near the St. Louis County Police Officers Union Hall. Casey.
Yeah, Mike, earlier tonight, a message went out to officers from the union telling them they would open up the hall for a safe place to mourn and remember their brother. And a lot of officers have shown up to do just that. It's a full parking lot here tonight. A lot of squad cars here just outside of the Union Hall. This is in Manchester. I spoke to County Councilman Mark Harder, who was on his way in. He told me he showed up here just to show his support. He did not know Detective Valentine. His fellow councilman, Tim Fitch, of course, is the former St. Louis County Police Chief. He's traveling tonight, but by text he told me he does remember Detective Valentine. He remembers him as what he said was a good young man. Then earlier tonight, back over at Barnes where Robert is, we saw Peggy Snyder supporting officers, unfortunately in a way that most just can't. She's the mother of Blake Snyder. He was the most recent St. Louis County police officer killed in the line of duty. That was back in 2016. We saw her comforting the interim chief and others. Also, we saw her hugging Detective Valentine's uncle, who is a sergeant with the city police department. Now, we have actually covered Detective Valentine before. Back in 2015, he was injured when police said on a traffic stop he was dragged by a car. And then late tonight, we heard from the department, they updated us just a few minutes ago, that Detective Valentine was an Army combat veteran. He was also just recently retired from the Air Force Reserves. He's been with the department since 2007. He was 42 years old, and tonight the department is asking fellow officers and anyone else inclined to pray for his family. Live in Manchester, Casey Nolan, 5 on your side.
Again, here's everything we know so far. 2 people, including a St. Louis County police officer, are dead after a head-on crash this afternoon near Crete and Chambers. Brand new details. Police say other officers were attempting to pull over a Volkswagen Jetta. The Jetta took off and then hit the vehicle driven by Officer Antonio Valentine and his partner. Valentine was killed. He's been with the department since 2007. Another officer was also hurt. He was treated and released from the hospital. Police have not released that officer's identity or the identity of the other person who died. And at this point, we do not know exactly what caused that crash.